So left leg forward, hands up. Remember, we're doing contact class. Doesn't mean we're going to beat each other up, but the punches go to touch me. Touch me, touch me, touch me. Again, this is not going to cut it. Touch. The worst thing that should happen to you today is touch, touch, touch. Not. And that's the worst thing that will happen to me, is he'll touch me. It's a little annoying. But at least it gives me something to block. So when the jab comes, I parry it. My right hand is pushing his left hand across his body, so that for him to reach me with the right hand, he has to come over his hand. When he comes with the right cross, my left hand does that. Notice also, I don't want to do the funky chicken thing. I want to have my elbow down and in so that I can touch and come across. Touch and come across. When he goes for that hook, first one is shield. I'm just covering the side of my head. You may want to learn to lean in a little bit, because if he's hitting kind of hard, you take a little bit off of it, whereas if you just sort of wait for it to hit, it's going to kind of knock you off. So, parry, parry, shield. Parry, parry. Second one is insert. I stick my forearm in. I'm actually trying to kind of kick his arm with my arm. So, parry, parry, insert. And then parry, parry, duck. Get your head underneath. Parry, parry, duck. Get your hands underneath. Goes jab, remember, parry. Now, why is it that I don't want to do this when the jab comes? Because then the second punch comes over my hand and hits me. Again, remember, I'm pushing. It makes the second punch slower, because he's got to pull this one back and come all the way from over there. Right? If I do this, he can just go right into it. But look, here, 1, 2, I'm shielding. So this hand is occupied, right? And if he leaves the hand there, you'll feel like you need to leave it there anyway. Right? You don't really need to, but you'll feel like you do. But this, which we call the left hand, is perfectly free to then come up and come around. So what I want to do is I'm parrying, parrying, shielding, hooking. Now, why does this work? Let's say I'm the one attacking, and I do what most people do, which is jab, cross, hook. Ow. This is why I tell you in every basic class, and why you shouldn't skip basic classes to come to intermediate classes, punch and come back, punch and come back. So when you're throwing the hook, you see where this hand is? This gives me a greater chance of survival against that counter hook. So, parry, parry, shield. Also, not this. I know Karate Kid is popular again. It's not wax on and wax off. It is parry cross, shield. And then I come back. So that's what you do. And what it should be also psychologically, he doesn't feel comfortable anymore going 1, 2, 3. If every time I go 1, 2, 3, he just blocks, it's not so bad. I'll go, and I'll get confident. But if I go 1, 2, 3, I got to think every time I do that. But I also have to be able to go 1, 2, 3. And the reason I'm able to do that is that this hand is up anyway. If I did this, well, does that make sense? So every drill has two sides, right? It's not just the countering, it's the attacking. Get used to if you attack somebody, they're going to hit you back. Let's go. You don't know in advance what was coming. If you do this, jab, cross, hook, and block, waiting for him to throw the hook, that's not realistic. Right? And in real life, if you do that expecting the hook, he'll mess with you. I'm doing this. See the difference? That's why when I say sometimes if your partner messes up, it's a good thing, because then it's realistic, right? So, messing up is good. It adds that sense of realism. Now, like I said, the reason that we do this one is that sometimes you'll leave the hand there and you'll feel like this hand is stuck there, and so it's hard to do something. But this hand is free. The second one we do is an insert. So you see how I'm pushing his hand out? This creates an opportunity for me to take the same hand and cut it straight in. Everybody knows like my little cobra hand puppet thing? Right? It's the easiest way, because I don't want to do this. No. 1, 2, 3, straight in. So I usually give him a hand because he doesn't want to do that. So 1, 2, 3, and I'll give him a hand to punch. Just so he doesn't punch me right in the face. Notice also something. As I come out here, see how my palm turns? We say I'm looking at the mirror, I'm showing the mirror. Because that way, as I turn, I'm going to tell you, right? Just try to avoid it, right, at all costs. I'm driving the bony part of my arm into his head. Which means also, psychologically, this hurts, right? It's like every time you went to hit me, I stuck you with a needle.
You just saw it. You just saw me not wanting to do it because I've done it so many times and have bruises.
Right? Parry, parry, insert, cross. Okay, let's go. Jab, cross, hook, I insert it. Look where I'm throwing the punch from, right there. If you go, yeah, you're giving them an extra second to think about it. Or they just pull back and double hook you, right? Does that make sense? Now, jab, cross, hook. That's fine. You know why? This is hard. This is not hard. Boom. That's always easy. My hands are up, right? I always tell you when you duck, put hands up. That is what we call 1 and 2. Watch. And you have to be nice when you do this one. That's 1. This is why I want to do this. Right? Not just because I want to put my head on the outside, but if I do this, see my shoulder? I don't want to do this. Right? Does that make sense? I want to do you have the spleen on this side, you have the liver on this side. Don't worry about which one you hit. In the middle you also have the diaphragm. Right? And as you go low, flat. So anything you hit is good. It's like a smorgasbord. Just grab whatever's there. So, remember, you got to go slow sometimes. Pay attention to what you're doing. So, we had the 3 basically blocks. Shield, insert, and duck. Another thing you could do, though, remember I said, push jab, cross. I don't want to lean, because then he just follows up with the kick. But, I can step away. Right? Does that make sense? Yeah. If he follows up with the kick now, it's okay, especially because this leg is light. When we start getting used to blocking the kicks, we'll talk about that. But it's not leaning. So, here I'm going right, left, so right. Boom. And especially if he goes really far, past the center line, I'm going to catch the back of the leg, not the outside leg. All right? I can also go left step right. So he goes jab. He goes cross. I'm waiting for the hook to come. I want to time it so that I'm staying back as the hook comes. You guys are all doing this. You're going before you even threw the hook. No, like I said, you want him to overextend right? You want him to overextend on that hook because he's turning his leg towards you. Right? That's why you got to be careful when you throw a hook and not just throw it and leave yourself here. Because getting kicked in the back of the legs is the worst thing. And so, I go 1, 2, make him miss. Now remember what I told you. Switch step is in place. It's not stepping forward. So, I make him miss, and I don't rush it either. I have all the time in the world to switch step and kick. Everybody thinks like you got to rush it. No, I have all the time in the world. Because he's not going to think about that. If anything, he's thinking about this and this. He's not thinking about this. Even though he's turning into it. And if he doesn't come back like he's supposed to, that's even worse in some ways, right? So, I can also do it switch and left knee. Remember something though, this is so we can train knee. This is not how you want to block a knee. Because if you're blocking a knee like this, the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to get punched or elbowed in the face. It's hard to train how you really block a knee because it works so well, which is that if he comes with a knee, I put my elbow in. I'm trying not to do it again, right? I just do that. Because it's, trust me, as soon as he lifts his thigh into my elbow, he's going to be a very unhappy camper. So again, okay? So you have left now, left kick or left knee. So, I can stand where I am. I can go away, or I can go forward, right? 3 options in life, right? Stand still, go forward, go backward. So, he goes to kick me. I can go backwards, hope he misses. Right? He's trying to go for my thigh. Kick my thigh, not my butt. Kicking my butt is an expression. So, if I want to go back, my right has to go. So that even if he catches this leg a little bit, I don't have much weight on it, so it's not a big deal. So she was trying to sweep me. If he goes and I want to go forward, I'm cramping him. Right? I'm not giving him room to finish the kick because when he comes, I'm stepping in. I'm not just stepping straight in though, I'm stepping a little bit to the corner. Okay? Not straight in, a little bit to the corner. Right? So I can go back, forward, but a little bit to the corner. Right? Where I'm standing in place, I pick up my knee and I open my hip. Right? Remember I tell you, it's not this, it's bring it to touch the inside of your elbow. Right? So that the front of your leg, the front of your shin is what's blocking, not your calf. You'll also have that overlap because if he comes more to the middle, it's not going to slip in between. And have your hands up because it could be to the head, and at least you have your hands up. If you do this, right? Does that make sense? In other words, I'm doing this. I'm covered no matter what. My shin blocks the low, the overlap blocks the middle, and my hands block the high. Okay? So, he kicks, step away, make him miss. He kicks, step in. And he kicks, block. He went jab, he goes cross, he goes hook, and I follow hook. Right, we already did this one. I'm going to add to it. So the first one, the easiest one, is to do a right knee. But I don't want to just do it here. Now, a lot of people think you have to grab the back of the neck. It's okay, but if you notice, when he blocks, it's going to be hard to get the back of his neck. What's not going to be hard is to get the top of his head. And I can leave this arm here. So now I have 2 arms to pull him in. But it's like I'm playing slots with his head. Pulling into the knee. Notice I lean back a little bit, right? I'm not going to get a good knee here. When I lean back, see how my hips go forward? I'm going to tell you right this up. Right here. Up and in. So, shield, counter hook. Leave it there. Because you won't think he's trying to figure out what's coming next because the hand is still there. He's still thinking about that hand. Boom. Which hand is grabbing his head? Right. So it's right knee. Okay? Boom. Boom. When I do the warm-up in the basic class, I always tell you head, up, so your back is straight. I tell you head, shoulders, and hips, one line, right? Go to this. Right? Reach to the top of my head. Pull down. Move your hands more. Move your hands more. Now, here, I'll give you a gift. Now pull my head down. Right? As soon as my head goes here, pull down. Pull down. Structure is everything, right? If you've done the real traditional with you, right, you focus the body method, right? Which is to keep your head elevated. Head, shoulders, hips, stuff like, right? If you do this, that's why sometimes we hit you. Right? I'll show you later when we're clinching. Somebody punch somebody in the hip. Why? It makes you do this. He goes jab cross hook. And I go boom. I'm close, right? So I can definitely do knee. But let's say I don't want to end up in a clinching situation. This looks too close to kick, right? But if I take my front foot, which is my left foot, and I step out to the corner, suddenly I have all the room in the world to kick. Right? Not here, I can't step through him. Now I have even less room. Step to the corner. Like I'm stepping past him, running past him. Now I have all this room for this kick. Now this is the monkey kill kick. It's not coming in here, it's coming down. Right? I'm going to turn my laces almost down to the ground. So he goes jab cross hook. Boom. And he thinks it's close. When you get comfortable with this, boom, as you step here, here. Right? Now this could be nice just to hold him when you kick, or it could be not so nice. I do that here instead of here, obviously. Does everyone understand that? Yes. That sucks as it is, but if I hit you back here, you might have a concussion. So please don't get back here.